Let me ask you something. What if I told you that your brain isn't just your brain, that it's running on hardware that's been under construction for 200,000 years, and that this ancient, incredibly powerful hardware was basically built for gaming?
See, every single time you pick up a controller, you're not just playing a game.
You're firing up a biological machine that was forged over millennia of pure survival. Think about it. This brain wasn't designed for sitting in a cubicle. It was built for the arena.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This goes against everything we usually hear, right? Gaming is so often framed as this, this modern distraction, a complete waste of time and potential. Well, today, we're going to challenge that, head on.
I'm willing to bet you have. That feeling of being misunderstood, of having this passion of yours just dismissed? Well, what if that passion isn't some modern flaw, but actually an ancient, powerful strength? To really get this, we need to rewind the clock. And I'm not talking just a few years. We're going way, way back, all the way to the original blueprint of our minds, a legacy that stretches across thousands of generations. 10,000, that's the number. Modern humans have been around for at least 10,000 generations. And for the vast, vast majority of that time, we weren't filing paperwork. No, we were out there, honing the exact skills that make someone a great gamer.
Our entire history is a story of constant innovation, of leveling up. We're talking tens of thousands of years of mastering things like the complex physics of a bow and arrow or crafting really sophisticated instruments. Our brains have always been wired to seek out and just master complexity.
And get this, look at how our ancestors actually spent their week. The work part of survival, that was only about 20 hours. So what about the rest of the time? Well, it was socializing and play. But this wasn't just kicking back. This was high-stakes simulation. It was practice. It was training for the very real life-or-death challenges they faced every day.
Okay, so this brings us to our first major connection here. This deep, primal drive to optimize. You know that feeling, right? That need to find the absolute best tool for the job. And it doesn't matter if that tool is a perfectly shaped piece of flint or a piece of epic loot.
You could honestly say our ancestors were the ultimate rock nerds, and I mean that in the best way possible. They didn't just grab any old stone. They had this obsessive precision, a deep instinctual knowledge of their gear. The parallel here is just perfect. An ancestor discards easy-to-find flint because they know there's superior obsidian a few miles away. A gamer completely ignores common loot, grinding for that one piece of epic gear. One carries special materials hundreds of kilometers, the other spends hours and hours perfecting a character build. It is the exact same impulse. So here's the big takeaway. What looks like an obsession to someone on the outside, it's not. It's a finely tuned survival instinct that's been with us for 200,000 years. It's the drive to optimize, to seek out every single possible advantage. That instinct is literally hardwired into your DNA. All right. That leads us right into our next point, that incredible, almost trance-like state of focus that defines both an ancient hunter and a modern gamer. It's your brain flipping the switch into what we can call hunter mode. There's actually a term for this. Some psychologists call it cognitive depth, and it's basically your brain's amazing, built-in ability to just constantly process information, spot patterns, and mentally replay scenarios to figure out, okay, how can I do that better next time? Does that sound at all familiar? The process is the same. An ancestor is tracking prey through a dense jungle. A gamer is tracking enemy cooldowns and jungle rotations. An ancestor is navigating a huge desert by memorizing landmarks. A gamer is mastering map control. And at the end of it all, whether it's the end of the day or the end of a match, they're both replaying the hunt in their mind, looking for tiny ways to improve. So you know that feeling, right? Have you ever wondered why you can't just switch off your brain after a really intense match? You put the controller down, but your mind is still just racing, replaying those key moments over and over? Well, that's why. Your mind is still in hunter mode. It's running that ancient program, replaying the hunt to find any little optimization for the next time. It's not a bug. It's not a sign of addiction. It is a core feature of your 200,000-year-old hardware. And this all ties into what might be our species' single greatest superpower, adaptation. It's the reason your brain doesn't just tolerate it, but actually loves it when the rules of the game change, when the meta shifts. I mean, think about the opposite for a second. That soul-crushing boredom you feel when you have to do simple, repetitive, predictable tasks. Why does that feel so awful?
It's because your brain is a high-performance machine. It craves complexity, it needs novelty. Without a real challenge to sink its teeth into, it gets starved of the dopamine it needs to stay fired up and motivated. So again, that feeling of boredom, it isn't a flaw. It's a feature of a brain that was built to solve really hard problems.
This is what we do best. Whether it was our ancestors moving to new continents and learning entirely new ways to hunt, or you adapting to a new patch that completely upends the game's meta, we thrive when the old rules break.
There's this great term for this, the Mercury moment. It's that point where everything you knew is suddenly wrong, and a new, deeper truth starts to emerge. This forces your brain into a state of neuroplasticity, literally building new connections as you struggle to master the new reality. And your brain loves this.
So look, the next time somebody tells you you're wasting your potential, remember this: you are not just a gamer. You are the current link in a 200,000-year-old chain of elite thinkers, trackers, adapters, and problem solvers. You are maintaining one of the most sophisticated pieces of hardware in the known universe.
You have inherited this incredible machine. This hardware has been passed down for 200,000 years. The only real question left is, what complex, challenging, and rewarding game will you choose to master next?